Arifureta. Arifureta?
Arifureta.
From a commonplace to world's strongest. An isekai anime that released on July 8th, 2019. An anime that got my hopes up. An anime that reeled me in and stabbed me in the back. So let me tell you why I had this reaction to this anime and why I had such high hopes for it, only for it to let me down. Real quickly before I tell you about the story, I have seen this anime before and I went back and rewatched it to make this video, so this is my second, actually maybe third time watching this, but I have seen it multiple times. We start with our main character, Hajime, in the depths of a dungeon on the brink of being killed. Oh god, that bear, it could kill me with one blow. If I don't scream, you won't see me. What the fuck? We then flash back to what led up to this point and figure out that Hajime and his class, including his teacher, were summoned to another world by its gods in order to help the human race from going extinct in the war against demons. And they believe that the key to winning this war is at the bottom of this labyrinth that has 100 levels. So the class is sent into the labyrinth in order to save the humans. And then they fall into a trap and Hajime uses his magic to save the class. Then, one of his classmates betrays him and causes him to fall down into the labyrinth since they saw him as weak and useless. He falls down into the labyrinth, which is like the first floor somehow. I don't know, but almost dies, but then through survival instinct kills some monsters, then eats them. But the monster's DNA in the meat starts to mutate him. Now, normally humans who eat monster meat would die before getting fully transformed, but Hajime drinks from this puddle of high concentrated mana that has super healing properties, which saves him from dying. Man, that's really convenient. So he mutates and gains powers from the monsters he eats. So by using these powers, he then says something about magic and... oh! He made a gun. Now, how exactly do you make a gun, Hajime?
高い高度を持つタウル鉱石を使った6連の回転式断層と弾丸、中には粉末状の燃焼石を圧縮して入れてある。これを天雷で加速。
Guess that makes absolutely no sense at all. Sidebar, this is going to be a main point in this video. There are many things that happen in this anime that can just be summed up to lazy writing. And when I say lazy writing, I just mean it doesn't waste time. This show goes, hey, I know you've watched a bunch of other isekai, so we're not going to waste any time explaining stuff because we already know that you understand all the tropes of isekai. But that doesn't really matter because, like I said before, it's a trashy isekai that you're watching for the entertainment and not for profound writing or animation. Anyways, Hajime then decides he needs to live, and the only way for him to escape the dungeon is to get to the bottom floor, which he believes will have a way to teleport to the surface. Now, once he gets to level 50, this is where he finds Yui, an ancient vampire that was betrayed by her own race and locked down in the dungeon for eternity, since she is immortal and they didn't need her powers anymore. Hajime, who was also betrayed, decides to release her and save her since he can relate to her. After saving her, Yui decides to go with Hajime since she doesn't care about her past life and harbors no hate for the ones who wronged her, and Hajime also agrees with this. This is a main theme of the story of
Arifureta.
the fact that the want for revenge, if given enough time, will seem pointless at a certain point. Hajime was betrayed but only wants to return to his world, and that is his main goal. He does not care what happens to this world and is only working towards his own goal of returning home. So after rescuing Yui, Hajime... oh, he made a railgun. That's cool. Yui and Hajime then traverse the rest of the dungeon together and, well, fall in love. They both have a good amount in common, and after fighting through life and death scenarios together, they fall in love. And when I was watching this, I couldn't help but see me and my girlfriend in these characters. The interactions between them and the way they make jokes and don't really argue that much. This is one of my most favorite couples in anime, and one of the most realistic ones at that, with real interactions and a genuine feeling of love backing them. And we see them understand each other with every floor they conquer, all leading to the 100th floor. It all comes to this one last boss, and they can finally leave this dungeon together to live the life they want. And the build up to this floor wasn't a lie. They both almost die. Yui is put into a trance and sees a vision of Hajime leaving her. And you know what Hajime does in order to stop her from panicking? That's right. They fucking kissed. Let's go. I love this show. We're not even halfway through the series and they just fucking kissed. Hell yeah. But after that, Hajime and Yui are able to defeat the boss, or so they thought. One final head emerges from the Hydra and just slaps the shit out of Hajime. Yui then tries to protect him, but she tries her hardest and starts crying. And this is where Hajime awakens and comforts her. What? Is my waifu crying? I'm gonna fuck your shit up! With every last bit of their strength left, they defeat the boss and the door opens. At the bottom of the labyrinth lies a house with its own ecosystem, with its own night and day cycle. Yui and Hajime find the man who made the labyrinth, well, what's left of him, and Hajime is given his powers and finds out what actually happened to the world they were summoned to, which he decides to ignore since, once again, he doesn't care and just wants to go home. So Yui and Hajime live in this house together for 2 months and they recuperate and learn as much as they can before going back to the surface. And I just love this payoff. They live together as a basically married couple. They don't care about anything. Hajime wants to go home and take Yui with him. A true love story. They just love each other and the only thing they need is, well, each other. And after these 2 months of living a happy married life together, they return to the surface. And that's the ending of episode 5. That's right, 5. But wait, isn't there like 13 episodes in the first season, along with a second season? Yes, but nope, yes. So what happens next? Well, let me tell you. Hajime and Yui meet Bunny Girl. Oh my god. And then they flex how strong they are since, you know, we needed at least one flex scene in this Isekai. I'm not gonna lie, it needed this. But then they save this bunny girl's town and then she decides to go with them for now. Okay, so she's gonna travel with them for a little, not the entire time, right? We then have Hajime and Yui flex some more and they defeat Evil Kid and oh my god, now there's a dragon girl. And oh, she's going with them too. Fuck. Why? Why did they ruin this romance with a harem? The harem aspect of this anime holds it back so much. The main story has a good message and Hajime and Yui are a great relationship. When rewatching this anime, it was crazy at how different it was from episode 5 to episode 6. The dynamic between Yui and Hajime was so good. And then after episode 5, they just stop having that dynamic and force it into a harem. It doesn't feel like this was the author's intention though, since Hajime refers to Yui multiple times as his lover. But for some reason, they just barely interact as lovers and force it into a harem, ruining a whole character dynamic that they built up to. I don't know why it does this. The show is held back by one tag. If it was an anime with no harem, it might be the best isekai. Well, that's a bit of a stretch, but it'd be one of my favorite isekais that is trashy, but it would still be a good isekai in my opinion. So it's the action is also very subpar for the rest of the show. Sure, the fights aren't well made since it's a lower budget anime, but the fights are just Hajime flexing with the same thing for the rest of the season. Then we get to the second season where Hajime actually has a cool fight scene against an angel, and then we go back to Hajime flexing leading up to the end of season 2 where Hajime was going to go off with his harem, but then he says the class can come with 2 now. Got to be fucking kidding me. Just when I thought it couldn't get any worse. So now I'm for sure not watching season 3, which has been confirmed by the way. I don't know why people are watching this show because it just got to shit. I don't know how you can enjoy it past episode 6. I guess you're just chasing that feeling that maybe it might go back to normal, but it never will. You just keep waiting for them to do some lover shit and you're thinking maybe the harem will just dissipate. But now he's like, yeah, I'm going back to my world and I'm taking everybody with me now. So they can't live that life they had in the 2 months in the dungeons. Like, what the fuck? It just makes me so fucking mad. What Hajime did at the ending of season 2 is the equivalent of Deku leaving his class and becoming a badass, fighting on his own. Then the class stops him and tells him that, we want to help you, Deku, but you can't fight on your own, even though he fucking could. And then Deku's like, starts crying, and he's like, thank you for the help. This just makes Deku uncool again and just ruined my hero for me. I don't know why they did this. I hate that stupid trope. It's like, you can't fight on your own. Bitch, he could 1v30 the entire class, and the only reason you were able to stop him was because he didn't want to kill you, even though he straight up could if he wanted to. What the fuck? Thank God I'm getting so heated. Anyways, if I were to recommend this show to you, I would recommend you to watch Season 1, Episodes 1 through 5, and Season 2, Episode 10, where the cool angel fight scene is. And that's it. The rest of the show is garbage and absolutely dog shit. This show was already a trashy isekai, but it had a good romance. And it had a great message. This show I liked and genuinely enjoyed watching up until Episode 6, and well, I don't know why you would ruin it. It just makes no sense to me why you would make a romance if you wanted to have a harem. The harem just ruins any attempt of a romance, and for some reason, you decide to do a 180 flip from a romance to a harem halfway through the first season, which makes absolutely no sense at all. This show could have been so much more, but decided to ruin itself. So with that, I give it a 4 out of 10, because it would have been an 8, but now it's a 4, because there's worse dog shit. But this is still dog shit. It's like your dog poops in your neighbor's yard and you're like, that's bad. And that's this show. There's other shows out there that are like, yeah, the neighbor's dog poops in my yard and I stepped in it. That's even worse. So 4 out of 10. Fuck this show. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit it with the like button because it gets it recommended to more people. And also subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content. I actually kind of liked making this video because it was just a simple review and it was a little bit funny and it was a little bit short, so it wasn't that much work for me. Also, comment what trashy isekai is your guilty pleasure. Mine would have to be Eminence in the Shadow. Hey, maybe I should do that one next. It's a good, yeah, I've watched it 3 times already. Maybe I need to get my life in order. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna have a good rest of mine, maybe. See you guys in the next video. Peace! That's my armpit.